Hello, hello. All right, we are starting right away here on the live stream. The action has just started. The pull has just been thrown. LaRock with the disc now. Dallas starting us off on offense. Atlanta throwing their little junk defense here. Ooh, Kelvin almost with the nice D there. Goes back to number 13. 13 swings it back to LaRock. LaRock back to 13. Jackson now. Ooh, getting a little physical there with Kelvin, but able to clear it out. Ooh, a little over the top. It's exactly what they wanted. Player Pierce immediately blades it. And no, I think they were hoping for a call, but unfortunate there. Quick turn, and then now back in Dallas's hands. Picked up by Mechanix, I think that might be. Puts the hammer over the top to Frood. Frood looking to reset, has to give it back to Mechanix. Mechanix continues to swing all the way to the other side of the rock. He's got number 15 going deep, looks him down. Kelvin now sets on the mark. He swings it back to number 13 in the middle. They're about at the 50-yard lines, has to go back to LaRock. Kelvin kind of playing back and forth here as covering each man. Ooh, blades it right up to Frood. Moves it, ooh, and gets a hand on it, but picked up by Slack, gives it back to Frood. Now LaRock centering in, he's about at the 26, 27, swings it over to Mechanix. Wants to throw that hammer, ends up swinging it back to LaRock. Gives it right back to Mechanix. Has to make another swing all the way over to the other side. Push back almost now to their 30. Hustle getting some work done there, but ended up breaking through. Slack now just outside the goal line, gives it right up to number, I believe, 13. Dalton Smith. So a big chance for Atlanta to get a break to start the game, but Dallas kept their composure. Unfortunate throw there from player to get a quick turn, and Dallas then goes up 1-0. We did have a rain delay, so the game had been pushed back about 20-30 minutes. But it has cooled off from the day. It's been a very hot day up till now. Number 24 with the pull. Going all the way down. Probably going to land just in bounce around the 21. A good pull now to set it up. Stapleton looking for the dump. Gets the swing. Ooh, good save. Now back in his own end zone. Stack pushed far back. We're going to have to see some resets. Matt Smith with a man on, able to keep it. Puts a nice little bladey hammer over the top to JP. JP has the time, looking for an easy reset, swings it all the way to the other side. Nice look to Matt Smith. Continues to swing all the way to the other side. Now Bush, just outside from the half field, has to give it back to Burns, now back at their own 35. Stapleton up the middle, looking for another reset. Burns with a continuation strike cut. Now might have something deep. Matt able to pick up the under, who looks off a nice swing, but now better one to Stapleton. Now they're at their opponent's 40. Gives it over to Bush at the far sideline. Nice horizontal cut from 27. Doesn't really have any resets. He's going to have to blade it. And Matt Smith springs up, picks it up. I'm not sure if that was really to anyone, but there were a lot of hustle players. Great job there from Atlanta to stay focused, tie this game up 1-1.
Talking about some team trivia questions. If you want to come meet us underneath this glorious tent and get a packet of slips to respond to them, you can win some pretty great prizes like hustle gear, lasso socks, maybe a Cajun egg roll from the pickle food truck. But come on up and see us, grab a pack of slips, and we will get started soon.
I would say my roster is incomplete, so I will try to get all these names down as the game goes. 1-1, 9:29 left. Atlanta with the pull. Mechanix looks like he's going to receive it right at the goal line. Dalton Smith in the center. Trying to get some work around Carteret. Choi now kind of a man on the handler position. Yeah, we're playing man defense. Big swing to LaRock, but they're still about at their 15. Oh, breaks. Gets it to, I believe, Smith, who puts it right back in the middle to Jackson. He's keeps it up the sideline out the 50. Some nice give and goes from Dallas. Carter now setting the mark, but a huge swing. Matt Jackson, though, will run that down any day. He's a great thrower on the continuation. LaRoque now at the 50. Frood, just lots of unders right now. Number 15 wide open again. Now the defense seems to be clamping down. LaRoque now just sitting outside his 30-yard line. Able to force it up now to Slack, who's at the 20. At the far sideline, looking for a strike cut. Gainer stops it. Another one, some picks should be called here, but ended up players stopping. No pick needed. Frood with a nice backhand to get the break started all the way to Jackson. Frood with a slick backhand to Salt. I think it was a backhand to Dalton, then Dalton to Jackson. So Dallas seemed pretty steady, pretty calm on that drive, going up 2-1. Took a full minute, though. Atlanta's always just looking for that one break, and that's what they'll need here to get the ball rolling. Got Kelvin and Trenton on offense. I believe Sam Batson. Got some height as well as some great handlers with Jacques and Parker Bray. This disc goes way out of bounds. Ooh, it lands right on the hardest part. New disc coming in. Looks like they're going to get it up pretty high, probably at the 50. Player's going to pick it up. Jack right behind him. Oh, Bray goes deep. Great shot from Pierce. Completely, they were not ready at all. Bray just took off. That was a nice move from Atlanta. Player making up from that turn earlier. A beautiful flick, perfect play. The defender knew right from the moment it was up. He had no play on that. Great strike from Atlanta after a tough pull for Dallas. Scoring in just 8 seconds. 2-2, 8:22 left in the first.
What board game replaced Molasses Swamp with the Chocolate Swamp? In 2002, what board game replaced Molasses Swamp with the Chocolate Swamp?
Don't shout it out. Write it on a slip of paper and bring it back up. That's the only way you'll win.
Josh Bush with the pull. Nice low, all the way to the goal line. Malachek centers at 25. Looks for Frood underneath. Frood's just a beast when it comes to those underneath cuts. Getting some stall rising here. Has to swing it over. LaRoque now at his 40. Oh, kind of thrown into some traffic. Jackson, I think, was afraid to get hit. Ended up just kind of popping through. And I think we're going to see a pick called here. There was a lot of junk right there in the center of the stack. Not shocked to see that call. Hard cut from 27 to get us started. Nice intensity from Carey. Austin Taylor kind of does get forced in there, but pops right off the chest of Draco. Now Draco has to get back on defense. He immediately puts it deep, and a nice put from Malachek. Unbelievable flick. They're calling it a score. Gets the bookends, I guess. He's throwing the bookends. Dallas up 3-2. Once again, Atlanta has gotten a chance to get a break, but then a quick little turnover gives it right back to Dallas. They stay on serve. This is really a big game for Atlanta today. Chance to get some breathing room from Austin and kind of get a chance to fill that third spot, get to the playoffs. Ray now dishes it to the center. Now back to Owen. Choi taking off for the swing. Looked off by Owen. He'll swing it back to Ray. Just outside. Ooh, a nice backhand, but smart of Benny to Swings it back to Gaynor. Matt Smith has to look it off, able to swing it to Owen. Owen's got a couple cutters deep, has to look him off and swing it back to the middle. Dallas right now making us go backwards. Swings over to 25. Lindquist now at the opponent's 40. Had a couple looks, not able to see anything he really wanted, has to reach out for a big dump. Swings it now over to Owen, who's now the opponent's 40. They are really working this back and forth. Staying nice swing from Smith to Gaynor. Finally breaks free, but it might be a little too far. A great trailing grab from 25. I believe the jersey says Eckert, so I don't think that's actually the person, but Birdsong. Great grab from Birdsong. Look at this grab on the last step, and then just with all of his limbs out, makes the grab to keep Atlanta in the running. 3-3, 6:29 left in the first. So a lot of work there from Atlanta, but they really had some good resets. The dump swings were on point. There wasn't anything really too crammed or rushed. And eventually the offense was able to break free. A little scary there at the end, but still come away with a .33. Kelvin booking it down the field right now. Going to be picked up by Malachek. Immediately shuts down Dalton, but LaRock now going to try to make the continuation swing, puts it right back to the middle, gives it right back to LaRock. He's now just kind of inching up to the 30. Ooh, Jack kind of saw it coming, was a little bit behind. They are really just homing the disc back and forth between their handlers, getting 3 to 4 yards per throw. Jackson blades it over the top to Frood, who's in the middle. Now is about at the 45-yard line. Opponents. Oh, thrown into some traffic. Great catch from 15. Taking off. Minch now putting pressure on the handler. Juked out by Smith. And then a blade shot to the end zone to number 15. I got to figure out who this is so I can remember this name. Smith.
In addition to team trivia, we
gives
also
it
have
right
some fun
away
participation games going on between quarters.
to
If
Malachek.
you want to
Malachek
participate
today
in those,
on
find
point
me,
with some of these
Sarah,
throws.
underneath the tent,
This
and
thing
let
stayed
me
low
know.
and sharp the whole way, and it had to if it wanted to get past Batson. Beautiful look. Great run by the cutter. Dallas looking classy right now, 4-3. Blady pull. I think they're trying to roll it out. We saw this tactic kind of work last week to give him the edge, but not able to get down there quick enough. Smith gets it right up the middle to Draco. Draco looks off Carey. Now Smith back with the disc. Swings it over to JP. Carey goes deep. JP doesn't want to take it. Ooh, little miscommunication, but Draco comes up with the disc, immediately goes to Sperling. Nobody's chased him down. This is all Sperling's. Great work from Atlanta. Almost went south there. Draco able to pick it up and then immediately see the opportunity to go deep and make the big play. Look at Sperling. You know, the defender had already given up. Sperling just had to finish off the run. Casually get the two-handed grab. Atlanta staying with them right now, 4-4. 5:32 left in the first. We've been seeing some awesome work from Malachek. Let's see if we continue to see him put on these very nice flicks. Coming in hot right now. Really just the handle work by Dallas right now. Seems pretty confident at taking down Atlanta. There's been a couple hiccups here and there. Let's see if Atlanta can get another force. Swings it over to LaRock. Looks him off at first, but then gives it to 15. Trap now on the line. Carter Ray, ooh, gives a nice little bump. Nobody really on. Ooh, just stays in bounce. Ray now just trying to trap on the line. Lindquist comes in on the double. Has to pop it up to the top. Now Malachek's going to swing it all the way to Jackson, who will probably continue to swing. So I want to say Dalton Smith at the far end at the 35. Their own 35. This is the first time we've seen some stalling. Jay Frood kind of being baited. Swings it over to Malachek. They're seeming to shut down now, Dallas, but they're kind of moving their handlers around. Smith with the disc swings it all the way back to Malachek. They're kind of going backwards now, back at their own 25. Smith quick with the give and go. Gets it right back. They kind of eat up the yardage there, get to their own 45 and stop. Hit a wall, they swing it over. Can't see who that is. Gives it to Malachek, has to get to Smith. They're starting to get a couple yards here and there. Now at the 45, has to swing it back to Malachek in the center of the field. And we are just playing 3-yard ultimate here. This is kind of what Atlanta wants. A low one to Jackson, who has to swing it to Frood. Now they're about at the 36, 37, getting trapped now. A long swing that gets them really no yards, but switches the field. Has to give it back to Jackson, almost back to the 50 again. Oh, now able to eat it up. They're getting to the 30, chaining it back and forth just outside the 20-yard line. Now they hit the wall again. Atlanta keeping the pressure up, and the Dallas just smart enough knowing that something will open up if they keep the disc moving. A hammer. This is what you want. Let's see if this can get picked. Great work. I believe that was Birdsong getting the pressure, and I think we're going to get a timeout called from Atlanta. Birdsong with a layout. So far, that's been the best layout I've seen so far this season. And then with the D now to possibly give Atlanta a break. Frood has to go up, knowing that Birdsong was coming in, and he ended up just going up a little too high, too soon. And he was coming down, the disc floats right over. Atlanta now has Kelvin, Kyle, looks like player, Trenton Spinks, Parker Bray, Sam Batson, and Jack Perivier. Solid offensive line. Let's see if we can really capitalize here, get the first break of the game. Trenton immediately goes deep, but they have to swing it to Bray. Bray makes a huge swing to Jack, who's going to have to run this down. What an amazing dive from Olsen, I believe. That was number 99. Came in and reached around, popped it out. And right off the timeout, Atlanta makes the turn. They put it right up to Chris Larberg. And just like that, in 3 throws, Atlanta had the disc. It goes right back to Dallas. Tough to burn the timeout.
Point Dallas.
And lose the point right away, but things are still on serve. 5-4, 3:09 left in the first.
Hey, Sarah, who wrote the Butter book? Who wrote the Butter book? The Butter book.
Write it down on your slips of paper, run it back in, and drop them in the yellow buckets underneath our little tent.
Some up and down emotions here. Kind of a roller coaster here for Atlanta. Here we go, an interesting rollout. Let's see how this works for him. Coming out really on, Dallas rolls it out on their own 36, maybe 37. No, it's going 38 actually. Stapleton looks like he's going to start us. Dallas was saying that should have been a turn because it was 10 seconds. But I think it's 10 seconds from when the disc actually is placed into play again. I'm not sure since it rolled all the way out. It has to be placed in play for 10 seconds. So I'm not sure if that was the whole strategy behind it, but we're back here. Austin Taylor swings over to JP, sitting outside about the 27. Oh, swings it over to Smith. It blades too much away from him. He had the right look. Dylan Larberg was on Smith, but Smith was making him dance. But a little bit of a trailing throw from JP, and you can see he's already ready to play defense. Swing comes a little too far. Try to bring Sperling in. 24 now looking to reset. A little bit trailing, but they're able to grab it. Smith now gets back on Larberg. He immediately flicks it, but it blades. JP just swats it down. Smith centers it now. Sitting his own 30, gives it to Bush. Gets it to the 40. Getting nice cuts from Carey. He's looked off. Draco. Ooh, it looks like a foul there, but they're going to continue it. Draco looking for a reset. Has Bush again. It's thrown behind him. Now let's see if Atlanta can get this point back. A beautiful read from Sperling. I don't think Dallas knew he was coming back to help. A wild point with so many turns now. Let's see if Atlanta can continue this. 1:21 left in the first. They immediately go deep. There's basically two players there. Bush is going to have to run it down. Luckily, we're on the side that doesn't bank up. Bush has some running room. And a very wild point with Sperling making a beautiful dive. Dallas really felt like they had the momentum there. Plenty of chances, but Atlanta stuck with it. 5-5. 1:15 left. Let's see if Dallas maybe holds it. I don't think so. I think they're going to come out and just run their standard offense. Be curious to see if Atlanta will maybe run a zone and try to milk this clock and try to force them to throw something with little time left.
Charlie and Kai to start making their way down to the 50-yard line. Charlie and Kai.
Big pull from Choi. Nice high float, a lot of hang time. Ray already down there on the player. LaRocque will have to swing it over to Malachek. Malachek has a lot of space, but then goes right back to LaRocque. And they're just kind of getting a lot of easy yards here. Slack. He easily swings over to Malachek, and now it seems like the defense is back on. Once again, LaRocque, and they're just getting some easy yards, just swinging it back and forth. Back to LaRocque. They're already at the 35. Across the midfield. Malachek's looking for the easy swing. Sun Choi knew it was coming, not able to get there. Jackson tried to look deep. He's going to probably make the big swing again to Smith. Smith looking for the easy up the middle. Nothing there just yet. Has to make the swing. Now we're going backwards. Atlanta seems to kind of got their footing on defense. Another swing. Carter Ray tried to cut it off. Goes right back. He knew Smith was coming. Choi, though, tried to cut it off as well, but a player from, I think that was LaRocque once again. Malachek doesn't really have anything that he's going to throw the hammer beautifully. He is on point today. I think that's his third assist. Yeah, so we have 24 seconds left. Dallas started with the disc, so that means they will get it to start our second quarter. This is just a perfect hammer over the top. I believe that was Dalton Smith in the back. It's the throw you kind of want to force. It's just Malachek was able to place it perfectly. Can't think, can't really beat yourself up on that point. Atlanta, though, it's really important that they hold here. They got to get a point here and stay tied if we want to keep focused and maybe turn this game around. This is a team that I think we need to get ahead if we can and not let them stick around. But they could say the same about us. If we hang around, we can make something happen. Choi picks it up, fakes, but Pierce, we're able to pick it up. Immediately goes. A nice flick. I don't know if Bray can get it, though. Oh, a beautiful rundown by, I believe, Jay Frood. Now Dallas has a chance to get a score. They're going to call timeout, I believe.
Timeout, Dallas.
Player, I think, threw a beautiful throw just a little out of reach of Bray. Maybe if Bray was already at top speed at the throw, I think he had to catch up to it a little. Good layup. Look at Frood coming in. He was going to make a play as well.
We'll announce the
Great bid by both players. I think Jay Frood probably slid for about 12 yards. My goodness.
A lot of people wrote down.
So with 9 seconds left, I think Atlanta's best bet is just to kind of play deep. Have some guys just poaching the deep side. They're going to probably try to do a couple throws to get around the 50. And then they're going to make some kind of crazy blade or hammer throw into the end zone. Curious to see if they just play aggressive or play normal man defense or if they play some kind of poach. 12 seconds on the clock. So plenty of time, really, to get a couple throws. starting from their own goal line at the far sideline. Malachek and LaRoque in the back with Slack and Frood kind of popping. Number 14 on the far side. Dalton kind of in the popping position behind Calvin. Jackson kind of finished. So they got 3 handlers. Number 14's kind of going deep. Trent Spinks baiting it. Oh, immediately tipped up. He catches it. He's able to keep it. Now he's in the back of the end zone. There's only 2 seconds left. They're going to have to throw it now. It is up, but it goes out of bounds. I don't think that's coming back. A great save, and almost would have been amazing as a Callahan. But great work from Minch to just pop that out of the way, but a great save from Dallas. That could have gone back to Atlanta and a chance for them to score. Slack, though, he's an impressive player. Look at that grab. Amazing dive.
So each of them are going to start at the 10-yard line. We're going to say ready, set, go. They're going to run here to the 50-yard line on the track, take off their shoes and socks, put on their lasso socks, put on their shoes, and
here we go. We've got
cool?
Pretty great contest here. You got to run.
So we're going to say ready, set, go.
Take off your shoes.
Ready, set, go.
Take off your socks. Put on the lasso socks. First one to complete wins. Dang, what a run. And it's pretty much a tie here to the to the start. A little bit of edge for the older gentleman. It's really, though, wow, he's taking off the socks pretty fast. All right, we're pretty much starting at the same time. So now it really just comes down to, sock etiquette. You really, with the long socks, you want to roll up. The kid's got a whole wrong strategy here. You got to get your thumbs all the way down to the bottom of the sock, turn it into a small sock, and then just push through. That's tough luck. Now they got to get the shoes on. The younger gentleman there, he's still struggling on that right sock. He has to go run and get his other shoe. And it looks like Charlie will win. And the kid's like, you know what? I don't even want these. Now the kid just runs away with the socks. He just takes off. We never see him again. 'Cause that's how we do it here in the ATL. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to let those people keep those socks. Look at the technique. He's got the finger in the shoe. That's smart. This guy's been around the foot game. I'm telling you that right now. Well, we got players coming back to the field. It's 6-5 Dallas now. Kind of that half break. They oh, actually, they're pulling. I thought Dallas. That's right. They started. So Atlanta will receive. Oh, man, thank you. And they're going to try it again. Let's see. I think if that disc... Let's see what happens. Yeah, and I'm not sure what you're gonna make it roll out, but they don't. If the official's not there to get the disc, it's such a rollout. They got to find a new one. It's gonna take time, and I'm not sure if that strategy is gonna work out for Dallas. We'll see if anything happens. Great bid from number 4, Bush, able to catch through it. Smith. Nice cut out. Bush has got to get rid of it. I do not see how that wasn't a stall, but picked up by 50. And Dallas looking to make a quick strike to the end zone. There's Larberg coming back to help. Another Larberg goes. Ends up going to Dillon. We'll see if Atlanta can get it back. Ooh. I think Sperling could have made a play, but he wasn't sure if Smith was coming in. And Bush just, that had to have been at stall 6 or 7 right there. Great read then from number 50, Matthew Armour. And that, I believe, is our first, is that our first break of the game? (7-5) Dallas. 11:27 now in the second. Good start for them to start this quarter. Atlanta knows they're going to need a few breaks anyways to kind of get things really started. Atlanta had the best run the last time these two teams played 2 weeks ago. Went on a 7-2 run at one point, but it happened, I believe, in the first quarter. So if we could actually get that 7-2 to happen in the third or fourth, it'd be beautiful. But for now, we need to make sure we stay within 1 or 2. Keep Dallas honest. Choi swings it over to Gaynor. Gaynor back to Choi. It floats a little, but Choi had positioning, able to run it down. Pushes it right up to Owen. Choi going right up the line. Doesn't really have the angle. Gaynor with nice footwork, getting the reset. Looking for a cut to the end zone. There wasn't anything there. They're going to be forced to do the swing. Back to Bray now at the 30. Or I'm sorry, Lindquist. Lindquist has to dish it back to Choi, who now swings it all the way to Draco on the other side. Swings it again to Carter Ray, who's going to get it just outside the goal line. He does a nice little over-the-top backhand to Lindquist. Atlanta looking nice and smooth on that play on offense. Now within 1 at 6-7. Dallas offense, though, doing the same thing. Very confident, very smooth, efficient offense. Malachek been putting in some dimes. Let's see if that continues.
Dr. Zeus was Sarah Lashley.
Just great running from Lindquist there. I'm sorry if I'm not getting, like I said, the names of every player. I don't have a full roster list. I thought I did, but lots of different players out there I don't have on a sheet here, so I'll just be saying their numbers. We got Smith. Ooh, kind of a jukey move. Surprised it wasn't a travel, but they eat up tons of yardage before they're slowed down at the opponent's now 48. Looking for contact. Dalton Smith moves a lot, and so, I mean, it's smart. He's going to force contact. I think Jack, he's doing what he can. Until it's called, you just keep doing what you got to do. Smith, ooh, nice little cheeky throw. Just getting that dump. A lot of pressure. I think Dalton Smith might get a call. And Dusty's telling him right now to cut it out right now because they're hitting each other pretty hard. That run from Dalton Smith was just running into him. So be careful here. We might get some people kicked out. There's just like really no respect for space there. They're just running right through people. And
Point Dallas. The Atlanta Hustle is sponsored in part today by Total Home Care. Serving Atlanta area for over 30 years, call them for all your
just
windows,
aggressive
gutters,
work
and
from
pressure
Dallas
washing
there.
needs.
Just
If you mention
knowing how to attack
the
those
Hustle,
holes.
you'll
Atlanta
get
seems to be
25%
kind of chasing
off
there.
your first visit.
8-6 Dallas, 9:49 here in the second. Atlanta's defense too just seems to, those handlers are really seeming to find those pockets, and they're just getting five-yard passes and getting all the way through the end zone, or I'm sorry, the midfield before it seems Atlanta can start to slow them down. Maybe if we can get some of that intensity on the first few throws, we can slow them up in the very beginning. And Dallas, once again, is going to try this rule. I think they're trying to get the pre-stall. They're able to punch it right through. You can hear Dallas just yelling about something. Ooh, good bid from Olsen once again. Smith now continues to swing all the way to Bush. Bush fakes for the strike shot. Ended up doing a nice swing over to Taylor, who gets Sperling right back. And just like that, Atlanta answers quickly. A little scary in the beginning, but you can see Atlanta, some of the players are really talking amongst themselves here. This game means a lot. Like I said, Atlanta, if they could come away with a win today, could really be big for the standings. There are 2 games as far as losses. Atlanta has 4 losses, Austin 6, but the tiebreaker would go to Austin. So to get this win, I believe Austin only has 3 games left. To come away with a win here, and if things go south for Austin, we could have an easier chance of solidifying that 3rd place. And if things maybe go anyway, we beat Raleigh a few times, we could maybe get a 2nd place spot. Dallas at 8-1 really want to just get this season over with and go ahead and hold playoff position throughout. Be at home Here we go. Nice flick. It's kind of low. Gainer might. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Oh. Yeah, possibly. I felt like Gainer bumped him. Yeah, it might have been a strip. I don't have a replay here. It did seem kind of wonky. No mark on Fruit, and he's in the end zone immediately. Some interesting. These last 3 points have been very interesting, kind of choppy as they go down the field with some calls and some contact. So far, we keep steamrolling on with 9-7. Dallas up 8:59 in the second quarter.
Active people of all ages and abilities. Emory treats some of the most common injuries like sprains, dislocations,
Jack right now talking to the referee, Dusty, trying to kind of figure out what needs to be changed there between him and Dalton Smith. They were bumping and running hard.
With appointments available within 48 hours. Visit emoryhealthcare.org/ortho to learn more today.
And now Dallas goes back to the traditional pull. I think whatever they're trying to do just isn't working. Nice catch, but the defense, and that's what's nice about Dallas right there. Look how quick that defense is down there, ready to play. Just hugging these players. And that's an unfortunate play there from Atlanta. It was a tight throw into Pierce. Defender kind of all on his back, but I think it was a very clean play. Oh, right up top. Batson's going to have to make a play. He just has no positioning, and he's able to get it. Oh, and they're going to say contact. I don't know how that's contact. That, to me, was a bad call. I just don't see it. I do not see that. I'm sorry. There was not enough to make any difference on that play, but we shouldn't really be in this position in the first place. Let's see what happens, see if we can get the disc back. They have to dish it back, and Dallas will call a timeout. Yeah, I think Batson got gypped on that call, but good work from Atlanta. They still have a chance. They pushed him back a little bit, but Dallas looking to go up by 3 here early in the second. And Atlanta just needs to keep their heads up, keep this offense moving fluid. Switching up on defense, we have Carteret, JP, Gainer still out there. Own. We got a speedy line coming out. Atlanta's seeing where they're setting up. Looks like just a nice vert stack. We'll see if there's an ISO. I wouldn't be shocked to see if it's the Frood. Like probably a continuation of Smith and then a Frood. Smith kind of sitting in the open space, while traditional open space. Here comes Frood down the line. They kind of read it, but there it is. Frood's just such a dominant force in the end zone. And when they were setting up, just kind of where he was standing, it seemed like he was the chosen one. Just like that, Dallas up 3 now. Still 8 minutes left in the second. Chances to get breaks. Atlanta just needs to focus on holding on offense. And really just building some chemistry right here. We seem a little choppy these last couple points. Forcing some tight ones. But Dallas defense playing with some fierce intensity right now. Still kind of muggy in the air. The rain kind of helped cool everything down, but now it's still kind of sticky out there. Good to catch the disc, I guess, but I'm sure there's still some sweaty, sticky feelings going on all around with these players. Sperling setting it now, just at the 43. Has Smith coming in on a horizontal cut. Now at the opponent's 42. Has to do a hammer swing to Sperling, who catches it on the blade and keeps up with Draco. Draco So many throws just into his face today. JP just outside the sideline. Has a couple. Oh, great toe drag by Bush. Incredible bid from Dallas. Thought that player was going to get it. I think that was number 14, but Burns really with the fake here, getting the player to bite. That was Olsen, and then just enough air on it that Bush can make the play. It would have been a foul anyways. He got all hand. (8-10). Let's see if Atlanta has yet to get a break today. I feel like it's going to happen sooner or later. We've seen him just play man defense for the most part. We haven't really seen any zone come out in a while. It seemed that as though Dallas was handling it very well. They probably have a better chance on man. Batson with a nice pull. Malachek puts it out, gets it all the way up to the 40 for Smith. Gets it back to Malachek. Now swings to LaRock, who's now at the 50. Tries to give it back to Malachek, and they're just going to swing it all the way back again. Yep, big, huge swing all the way to the other side. Jackson, who bobbles it, but he's still got it at the 50. These big swings are nice, though, because we don't mind them just gaining 1 or 2 yards on the far swings. Those are harder throws to really complete. A higher percentage of something going wrong. LaRoque goes up. He's only at the 45 now. Ooh, big bump from Jack. You know, there's a lot of fakes and a lot of gives. There's going to be a lot of bumping. Kelvin on the mark now, back to Jackson. Jackson with a big swing now just at the 30. This looks like Jackson looking to reset. Gives it to Malachek. Watch these hammers. Ooh, fakes it. Now gives it back to Jackson. Jackson swings it back to LaRoque. Lots of swings again. They're pushing back now almost to their own 40. Fakes for the hammer. Doesn't really have anything downfield. He's got about 5 handlers in a line. Yeah, Jackson coming through the middle now. Yeah, he had nobody on him. Jay Frood now picks it up. I'm probably going to go to Smith again. But no, Frood, he loves that low backhand kind of riser. And I think that was Jackson for the score. Dallas up 11-8. Yeah, I've seen Frood do this a few times. He releases it really low, and it just kind of rises to the play. Yeah, it's just I'm not sure if he's actually a lefty, but pretty little flick. Or backhand. 11-8 down. So that wasn't, sorry, it wasn't Jackson. That was Thomas Slack, maybe. I'm doing my best. And the lowest pull, other than the rollers from Dallas. Gainer's going to pick it up just outside the 20. Now centered into the 30 with Choi. Smith with a nice under, dancing around number 22. Has Sun Choi again. I love when they use that space like that. Now looking to quickly reset is Smith now standing at the 50 center field. Birdsong is having a good day so far today. Has to reset to Smith. Smith picks it up. Ooh, players falls. Gives Smith some time to give it to Owen. Owen with a little lofty swing. Choi gonna have a mark right on it, but gives it to Gainer just outside the 30. Oh, a little up, but I don't know who that was to, but Smith's gonna try to make a play, and he does.
Point, Matt
We had some
Smith.
kids coming over, and luckily that happened at the end. Some kids ran onto the field from the play zone. Atlanta doing what they can right now to keep this within 2. 11-9 right now. 5:44 left here in the first half. Dallas has definitely shown that they've got what it takes right now to take this game, stay in charge, and come away with the W. Atlanta, their offense has done pretty well. The defense, unfortunately, has had some great chances for a turn, but then we're not able to capitalize. Good pull, giving Atlanta some time to make their way down there. Centering now. Jackson actually swings it over. He's got it just outside the 40, right at the 43. Swings it to Frood. Low swing from Frood to 15. Not a lot of yards just yet. Now they cross the halfway point. Slack trapped on his line. Oh, nice. Over the top. Frood definitely can get up and get that. Oh, low swing, but he's able to come up top, climb the ladder, punts the disc, and then, you know, plays it with it a little bit. That's what you do here. And then you do some flips, and then you join the circus, and then you find out your family left you behind, and then you're like, why did I do this? But then you come back to Frisbee, and that's the circle of life here today. That's what Dallas is showing us. All in one game. Just saying, if you join the circus, just be careful. You're giving up a lot. That's the lesson. Dallas, 12-9. Great run from their offense. They're playing extremely well. The polls have come back to normal now as got a nice low one coming in. Pierce setting us off to Bray. Bray immediately goes deep. Batson, can he run this down? Larberg isn't going to be able to get there. Great play call. Exactly what Atlanta needed.
Point for the hustle.
Just following that disc. Batson, meanwhile, is just running out of frame, catching up. Larberg's right there, but this is just a great placement. The most Larberg could do was just be the footstep defense. Hopefully just scare him enough he could possibly drop it. Last game, I believe, ended 29-28 for Dallas. Possibly be... Yeah, you know, I don't think we're going to hit the same numbers today, but it could, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to get I think a offsides call. So that means Dallas will be starting their offense from the 50-yard line right in the center. The best brick in the world. Well, I guess the best one would be like on their goal line. Malachek. Looks like he's going to start us off, number 15 on the close sideline. Dishes it to him, Lindquist. Ooh, unable to get there. Gets broken by now Malachek. Throws a hammer all the way to the other side to Dalton. That's his bread and butter. Sun Choi able to run him down, number 15, and stop the continuation. Now Frood. Didn't really have a lot of options here. Comes right back to Frood. Frood getting the every other. Now right there on the goal line is number 15. Gives it right back to Frood. It just seems like Atlanta's always behind these guys. And they are just taking full advantage of it. They're really using the full width of the field and using the space really well, and I think it's kind of hurting Atlanta right now. There's about 4:36 left here in the half. Some quick points there. Draco looks like he's going to receive the pull. Going to hit Stapleton. Smith now on the nice undercut. I'm waiting to see Bush now go. Was a little late behind. Gray now makes the undercut, but there's going to be a pick call. Gray will keep the disc. He's going to move back probably about the 46. Oh, sorry, about the 50. Yeah. Oh, no. All right. We'll figure it out here in just a few moments. It's coming back to Smith. He's going to be at his own 46. Oh, yeah, we're going way back. Just inside the 40. Ooh, Bush. Yeah, they were waiting for it. Draco has to cram in, gets it. Nobody helping to reset, but nice job from Sperling to be aware. It gets a nice chance for them to get some fresh air off that sideline. Draco now back on the sideline. Fakes it deep, now swings to Smith. And he's going to have JP on the continuation. Let's see if we have Sperling make something happen. Sperling doesn't cut, kind of stays in the back of the stack. They give it back to Smith. Now Smith goes all the way to Bush. They're kind of going back now to midfield. Smith goes, and oh, that's exactly what you want. There's nothing that can be done. Smith just has got to grab it. He does. Beautiful, beautiful play. You saw Smith kind of bring his defender, and the defender hesitated for just a second, and then Matt Smith took off.
11-13.
He knew he just had to grab it. And Atlanta has had some great offensive moments. If we can only now get something on D to really spark this team and get him excited as we try to finish this quarter and go into half. Down by 2 right now, 13-11. It just takes one break here. This would be the perfect time to get a break as we move in and finish this half. Looks like Parker Bray with the pull. Nice pull. It's going to come down a little soon. Kelvin getting down there quick. This is the quickest we've seen this defense make a move. Kelvin right there on Malachek, unable to get there quick enough. Now he's on Smith. We just see now LaRoque. See if they're able to pop through this defense again. Williams, he's a great mark on Smith. I like this. Now Malachek. And they're just kind of holding the disc. They got all day. Back to Smith. This is definitely no action right now from the Cutters on Dallas. There's nothing going on. Jackson stuck on the sideline. There we go. LaRoque swings it over to Malachek. Has slack, but looks him off. Now goes back to LaRoque. They're just on their own 40. Now they swing it back. Smith unguarded. Now Kelvin on him. They're making him go backwards here. About 2:30 left here in the first or second. Ooh, perfect throw. A little behind, but 15. Able to pick it up. Gives it right back to Malachek. He throws the hammer. Trenton eats it up. And that's what you hope for. And we're going to get the classic timeout here. Let's hopefully see if we can actually turn this into a point. Yep, that's normally his. It comes out a little wobbly. I think he thought he was going to get a little more distance on it. And Trenton there to eat it up. Nice work, GSU, you know. Like I said earlier, this is a great time to get a break. Kind of remind Dallas that just because you're up right now, that doesn't mean this is a long game. And then they got to sit in the locker room wondering why you should have a 5-point lead or a 4-point lead. Instead, you only have a 1-point lead or it's tied. It's a more of a hard thing to come back mentally from. Let's see if Atlanta, though, can get there. I believe this would be their first break of the game. Stapleton's going to start us off. I'd be curious to see if we just immediately huck this deep. Birdsong on the break side. I don't think the disc has been put in. The disc was not in. That's club for you. Club season has started, and you're starting to see already people are ready to move, wondering why the disc isn't going in. Ooh, close one to Choi, sorry. That was scary. Ooh, another close one. Bray able to keep it up. Let's see if we can get this a little bit better. Link was sliding. Another tight one. Let's see what happens. Bray's going to be able to get up. Oh, and just, it was Matthew Armour. And that disc did come out a little too high, a tough one. And Atlanta so close to getting a break. We've got 1:45 left. Larberg looking to pick it up. Has to immediately dish it now to 24. He's going to swing it all the way to the other side. I think that's Armour right there, or Olsen. That's Armour. Bray is on Armour now. Lindquist. Ooh, looked like he might have got a hand on it. No, it just came out a little wobbly. This Atlanta fighting hard right now to get this disc back. This is not the normal offense, and I think Dallas is trying to I don't think they have any more timeouts. Huge blade to the other side. Number 4 able to pick it up. Owen now on him. Olsen picks it up now just at the 50-yard line. This seems like Atlanta's. Ooh. Sunchoy tripping over a huge hammer. He's all by himself. Chris Larberg in the back of the end zone. And Atlanta using another timeout, and sometimes it just seems like those timeouts hurt us.
Team trivia question for
Not
you.
really. I mean, you need them, but that's twice today that a timeout has been called, and then we go around, make a turn. They just hurt that much worse. 14-11, 104 left. Atlanta still has plenty of time to get this in within 2. Will Dallas have enough time for a buzzer beater will be the real question. Not something I really want to have happen. We've done pretty good defense on buzzer beaters. Low pull. Gonna get picked up about 20. Stapleton now at the 30. Has a cut from JP. He's now about at the 44. He's gonna have to just swing to Stapleton. Will he continue the swing? He looks it off now. Oh, a nice swing kind of from the front. Oh, did he just break the ankles of number 70s? I think that's Ben Rogers. Can't tell if that was from the reaction to Carey. He's coming off on his own, but he might have tweaked his ankle pretty good there. I think that was from the fake. Tried to stop and then adjust. Stapleton now picking it up. Oh, he's got a great cut from Smith, but he goes deep. We got 2 defenders. Stolton Smith's out there too. Oh, wow. Bush skies all of them. I mean, Dalton Smith had a great run on that. I believe that was Dalton Smith.
14 with 36 seconds left in the first half.
And number 4 as
Let's
well.
hear it for your Atlanta hustle, everybody.
That one looked good at the beginning, and then all the Dallas players were rushing it. And then a great sky from Bush. (14-12). Dallas has plenty of time now to go up by 3. I believe they will be returning and taking the disc to start the third quarter. Nice, long, lofty pull. Kelvin immediately down there. Crystal Rock now about at the 25. Dishes it. Jackson drops it. Atlanta has a chance here. They have no timeouts. Let's see what happens. It's kind of like a quadruple team there. Minch is going to pick it up. Has plenty of space. Still has time. He's going to have to make a move here. Just blades it over the top to Kelvin, and Kelvin grabs it. Just like that. 13-14 right before halftime, and this is what I'm talking about. Get in their heads. Give them something to think about as they go into the locker room. Not the most traditional way I'd like to see it, but if it works, it works. Just right over the top. Let Kelvin pancake it. Great work. And Atlanta now down by 1. Full 16 seconds for Dallas. Plenty of time to actually set up a good buzzer beater attempt. Maybe if Atlanta's lucky, we can knock it down and with a few seconds left, throw one of our own. But I think Atlanta will be very happy to come away here just down by 1 to go into the half. Great pull. They know they had to get it down there. It's going to drop right at the 10. Ray all the way down there already. LaRoque, gets kind of bumped there. Number 15 has it. Gives it to Jackson. He's got 9 seconds. Has to swing it now. LaRoque is probably going to give it to Malchek. He blades it really well. Ooh, and he just bids for it. But I don't think this is going to be caught. I think we got Gaynor. Oh, they're calling it in. He got it in the back. I want to see this. This is an incredible buzzer beater. Looks like Gaynor has it. He's all by himself here, but there's a lot of Dallas players. He knows he's going to have to go up first. Just misses it. Grabs it, and ooh. Can't really see with all the people, but it does seem like he got a little bit of the line. But that's a tough one to see on the replay. Way to just grab the disc, though. You can't make anything happen until you grab the disc, and Dallas might have squeaked one away there. 15-13 as we go into the half. We'll be back here in about 15 minutes. Frood on the far line. Gonna have to swing it over to Mechanix, who'll probably give it to LaRoque. He's got Slack coming across in the horizontal, followed by Mac Jackson. Nothing really there. He's gonna have to give it back to Mechanix. Dallas intensity right now. They're not moving as quick as they did at the start of the first half, but you got to get everything kind of moving again. Dalton swings it back now. Stuck on their own 40, now moving back. Still no cuts from downfield. LaRoque now at his own 35, looking for something, some kind of finesse throw up the field, not able to get it. And the swings are just kind of going back and forth, but no real yardage being gained. Smith tries to make a strike cut, but it's denied. LaRoque now all the handlers kind of pinched onto the side. Jackson is going to have to go to the other side of the field. Atlanta pushing backwards. This is the best defense we've seen. Ooh, and no call. I think Mechanix was right to kind of look for one there. It was unfortunate. I don't think it was intentional, but some contact there. Able to get through to Slack now back at the 40. And now let's see how much yardage they can get here. Ooh, kind of what you were hoping for, but Frood able to get up, know that the defense was coming. Now gives it back to Slack. Slack's going to give it back to LaRoque. And here we go back to Swing City. Smith wants to give it to Ward. Now has to give it back to LaRoque. Now they're going backwards again. Here we go. If this swing's doing really well, we're not able to actually get the turn, but we push them back. We're hoping to see just that throw that's forced through the middle, and you can get the D there. Stall has not really been an issue for Dallas. They're going all the way back again. Jack able to get it to Frood. Frood looks upfield, trying to get that nice little low backhand again for some yards. Mechanix now goes back to Jackson. Jackson's going to swing it. Ooh, I think Mitch might have had a play on it. Now Slack centering it back now to LaRoque. He's just now, they're right at the 25. Dalton faking the hammer over the top. Now LaRoque looking, trying to get low. Does a nice backhand to Frood. Ward cuts in. Frood's got all day. There's no real mark. Gives it right back to Frood, who jumps all around, gets in, and honestly a really good defensive play by Atlanta. But Dallas never really seemed in trouble. Just knew they had to keep the completions coming, and sooner or later they would get a few breaks through the wall and get a score. 16-13, but a very long point, 9:38 left in the third. Jay Frood played for Madison for, I believe, the first 2 years in the AUDL, and then now has been playing for Dallas, I believe now 2, possibly 3. This might be his third. Incredible in Madison and has been incredible here at Dallas. Even 2 weeks ago against Atlanta, he was a key player, really attacking the wings and popping really well. And here he is getting points again for Dallas. They're going to try rolling it out of bounds again. Stapleton's going to try to hurry and get this started. Ooh. Almost able to get that. Burns now has to give it to Draco. Draco continues to swing to Sperling. He's got Smith up the line. Will anything happen? It looks like Dallas is right on him. Carey had some legs, but his defender was right on him. It had to have been a perfect throw. Draco doesn't have any help in the back. Ooh, some great work from number 22. Now Carey gets to get it back to Smith. Ooh, nice, right up to Stapleton. Stapleton puts it to Carey. Can Carey get in positioning? He does.
Point, Mason Carey.
That was Joe Teleski on defense. Sorry if I'm getting the last name right. It's kind of smudged here. Teleski, maybe. We'll just call you Joe.
Fun fact about Mason Carey, when he was a kid, he wanted to be an accountant. I don't know what kid dreams about that, but Mason sure did.
Atlanta's been able to hold for a while now on offense. They had a couple shaky points to give Dallas this 2-point lead, but really have kind of kept things solid on offense, waiting for that defensive break. A few chances, I think 2 or 3 chances so far in this game, but not able to capitalize. Ooh, now we're having a lot of activity on the handlers. We're seeing a lot of jumping from Carter Ray. Now Sun Choi, ooh, that's what I'm saying. They're just able to find that break and then get a lot of yards and move quick. Malachek fakes. Now they're bringing the double team. Dalton Smith does a big swing. You can see Lindquist was kind of reading it. Jackson puts it up. Let's see if this can be played by Gaynor. Oh, unable to get good positioning, and Sam Ward gets up and gets the grab. That's a tough one for Gaynor. You want to make the play. I think Gaynor really could have just followed through, but you're worried about making contact on the player. You don't want to do anything too dangerous, especially when you're running into the player. Ward, just great cut, good throw. Dallas continuing to hold as they're up 17-14 here with 8:25 left in the third.
Got the correct answer on our team trivia. The answer was Deion Sanders.
And here we go again with the roll. And it looks like they're counting. They might be careful here. I think this might actually finally work. Atlanta hasn't called. There might be a delay of game. Now he's picked up the disc, so he has to at least pick it up. Ooh, a very floaty one. Number 4, we're going to make a play. And see, I'm kind of shocked there. That looked like kind of what Batson did to the Dallas player earlier. And this time there's no call, so a little shaky on that. 4 bobbles it for a second. Dallas looking to get a huge break here. I still don't have everybody on the list, unfortunately. This is just kind of getting them as they come in. This is, I believe, Larberg. Oh, good bid. I think that was Minch. Oh, Olsen gives it right back. It's number 24. He swings it in, and there we go. Dallas with a big break here midway through the third.
Point Dallas.
Number 7, Ben Lewis in the end zone. Thrown from Connor. And then Olsen puts it into Lewis for the score. Tough break for Atlanta. Yeah, the hammer just hung just a little too long. Number 4 from Dallas able to make a play. 14-18. Atlanta's offense just needs to keep their heads up, continue to keep putting points on the board. Atlanta just needs to then focus on this defense. They've got to get a break. And I think they're going to need to at least come away with a break, maybe 2, before we go into the fourth if we want to really have a fighting chance. Here comes the roll again. This one's going to come out. It's a good strategy if you want to put some tough positioning right there. JP just up the line. Nobody's on him. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what they wanted. But we'll see here. Stapleton has to go with the swing now to center it to Taylor. Has a nice long one to Sperling, who's at the 50. Who has to reset to Taylor. And then goes back to Sperling for another 15, 20 yards. He's just outside the 30. Fakes to Smith, who would have had to put it in pretty perfect. Now gets it centers to Stapleton. Stapleton holding. Nice over the, ooh, had to get a nice grab from JP. Looked like LaRoque almost was able to get a hand on it. Now back to Stapleton. JP's got some yards and some distance. Just aren't getting that final cut. Carey was open for a second, but Stapleton goes all the way to the other side. It's tipped, but it ended up going into Matt Smith's hands. I think that could have been Smith or Sterling.
Matt Smith for the hustle point.
But is that a Cisco to Dallas? Is that how that works? I'm not sure. Stapleton knew he had to put a good line on it. Oh, solid smack, but ended up keeping the spin. I mean, that disc must have come out with a lot of rotation to be able to continue after getting swatted. Matt Smith ain't playing any games, gets the grab, keeping Atlanta now within 3.
Centered around how they can do a better job serving you, their valued customers. Whether it's staying in all night or working through the weekend to get orders shipped during the busy season, drawing pictures
Dallas
on
has
your
really
key
just
box
steadily
or
kept
adding
this
to your
lead from the
package.
very beginning, and Atlanta's been chasing. As far as their
offense
offense is concerned, they really haven't done anything wrong today. Playing extremely well. Really, the only turns have been themselves with just errors. We did have the Callahan, almost Callahan, ended up thwarting their buzzer beater. Matt Jackson now at the 25. Choi and Carteret have been running a lot today. Hard hammer over the top to Ward. Ward picks it up. He's looking for someone, trying to get some yards out of it. He's going to have to reset back to Smith, who then gives it to Frood in the middle of the field. Nobody's marking Frood, but nobody's got Malachek as well. And they have easy looks now up to the middle to Smith. Smith has Ward. He's not going to throw it to him. Guess he wasn't ready. Puts it back to Malachek at the 30. He's going to swing it over to Jackson to close the sideline. He puts it right there. Birdsong unable to get there. And Dallas, once again, a well-oiled machine right now.
This year we are excited to announce
Jackson, too, just look at the confidence in this flick. Just placed perfectly.
2 weeks away, June 18th through the 22nd, and the
Birdsong
camp is July
just
9th
doesn't
through
have the
13th.
position to get the play.
Older commuter camps with aftercare options and include a catered lunch every day. Future camps are staffed by
Sam
a
Ward
hustle
having an
team that
incredible
links
game
both
as
team
well,
players,
putting up
including both
getting a
male
lot of
and
scores.
female instructors. To register, visit atlantahustle.com/camp.
We are now officially at pretty much the halfway point. 6 minutes, 7 seconds left in the third. Atlanta down by 4. This is honestly, I think, the most they've been down all season in any game. They've really been able to keep games close, but Dallas today has been able to just gradually pull ahead. Parker Bray's going to have to get us off the sideline here. Let's see how he does it. I like that look all the way to Pierce, who's just sitting now wide open in the center of the field. He's going to give it to Jack. He's got Kelvin, but Olsen's right on him. Kelvin goes deep. He's looked off. They swing back to Bray. Now they're back where they started at the 50. Doesn't really have a chance. Look, Batson gets it right at the pinnacle of his jump. Not a lot of looks, but he's going to have Pierce coming down. Swings it over to Trenton. Oh, good fake by Trenton. Getting Larberg to just dive. Chris there. Trenton quick. Oh, Trenton, great grab. I think he thought Bray was looking him off, but there, nice work from Trenton to keep this drive going. Not a lot of activity right. Oh, and just not the best approach there. I just don't think he saw him. Trying to go with what works normally and ended up coming back to bite him. Oh, flat-footed. This is kind of a race. Can Bray get in position? Oh, bids too early. Not able to keep up with the disc. That was Lewis again, I believe. Now Atlanta has a chance to hold here. Ooh, Trenton with these nice one-handed grabs. Ooh, almost threw it away again, but then waits, gets Batson some time to get open. Kelvin has a look. He's got him. Ooh, Jack, I don't think was ready. Now he goes this time. Bray's probably going to put it up. It's real Blady. Great awareness from Connor on defense. Dallas looking to get this, make it a 5-point game and milking the clock as they do it. Nobody really picking up any defender. They're just running back and forth. The Larberg brothers, and a travel is going to be called. Yeah, sometimes you don't realize it. Yeah, well, what about all those other ones? You didn't call those. Well, on that last one, you did. You sometimes forget that you can't be in midair and throw the disc, especially if you've caught it and took a step. So the chain was working really well, but ended up being brought back by the refs. Now let's see if... Ooh, and just looked him off too many times. Atlanta has a chance to redeem this point. It's been a very long one. They're trying to hold Kelvin. Doesn't really make a real true cut deep. I think they wanted it. Carey dancing, made his defender fall, but at the same time, the throw was forced wide. I'm sorry, that was Minch. Very, very long point. We started at, I believe, 6:07. We're down to 3:13. Dallas, though, you can tell this D-line aren't as comfortable with the disc. But this is what it's all about, trying to get that break. Ben swings it back to Olsen. Olsen has a nice one. It kind of rises, but it gets it to Armour. Armour back to Lewis. Lewis is going to give it to Olsen. So a nice, solid 20 yards there. He's going to dish it back to Dillon. Dillon gives it now back to the middle. Swings it all the way to Connor. Connor wide open, number 4. He's going to give it back to Connor. Just a lot of easy dishes right now. and easy resets. Larberg has plenty of time to just get the disc back into space. Olsen, no mark at all. He has all day, decides to just get rid of it. Chris Larberg now. And here we go, Kelvin. Ooh, a little pop, but unable to get it. Now here we go. Let's see if there's an attack. Larberg brothers again, seeing if they can get something done. Oh, there it is. You can see him creeping in the back. I believe that's Connor. Dallas with a massive break on a very long point. That point was exactly 4 minutes. 2:07 is left in the third, and now 20-15. It seems like quite a task for Atlanta to get back in this game. Like I said, though, 7-2 run. That's what we got. That was the biggest run a couple weeks ago. If we could get it, that would be great. It would tie us up. And this is definitely one of the biggest leads Atlanta's defense has given up so far this season. Offense, I think, has really tightened up for the most part. That last point was unfortunate. A long one as well. Gaynor just getting down there and getting it started. Slid. And I love seeing that hustle. From our team, the hustle. Ooh, nice, pretty throw from Ray. Just burning his defender all over the place. Birdsong now. Ooh, gets the fake. He has Matt Smith. Dishes it. Now Birdsong taking off. Has 21 right on him, keeping the swing going. Birdsong still going. He's gonna get a call. He's gonna get pushed on the last little bit of the grab. It seemed like he did have it for a second, but I thought maybe he just fumbled it. Birdsong now gonna take it from the best position in the house, right here on the goal line. Gives it back to Choi, who then gives it to Owen, who hops right in, gets the score. Atlanta scoring quickly after a very, very long point that they gave up the break. Still down by 4, 20-16.
What type of creature is Ray Romano's character in the Ice Age movies? What type of creature is Ray Romano's character in the Ice Age movies?
We have something going on with the officials. We have the Larberg brothers talking to Dusty. I think a timeout might have been called by Dallas, maybe? Or is this an official timeout? Oh, there might have been some lightning, actually. I did not see it, maybe in the distance. And now we're ready to get this game back underway. As far as I know, looks like Atlanta will be pulling to Dallas. 1:23 left in the third. Still a solid lead for Dallas right now, up by 4. We'll see if this maybe changed some things. You know, now that you've rested and kind of calmed back down, it's like starting back up all over again. Curious if that'll change the game at all. Pull should be here any moment now. Referees are kind of getting everybody lined up. And we are underway. Trying to finish this game before midnight. I believe we do have a time frame with the lights, so I don't think this game will be going past probably 10:30. Gives it back to Dalton. Dalton out to Frood. Frood continuing the swings. They're just going to keep picking it apart. Lots of steps there by Frood. LaRoque now back there. Has a good little bid there from Minch. Almost gets the swing cut off. LaRoque with the strike cut. He's looked off. The swing now goes to Malachek at the 45. Nothing really there yet, but they're going to wait for it to set up. Slack right there in the pop. Kind of goes high up, but Ward in position. Gives it to Frood now to center. Frood has Malachek, but he ended up looking him off. Ends up getting the foul. Kelvin running in on his back. Frood will be taking it off. It's right from the goal line. Let's see if he dishes something over the top or something fancy here. Ooh, I don't know how that wasn't a travel. seemed like he took a whole step around him. But let's kind of see here. He must have been able to keep that back foot pivoted. Oh, okay, he's pivoting with his right foot. That's what it. Oh, yeah, that is a travel all day. Oh, my goodness. The slow-mo makes it. Woo, somebody's doing their job down there. That was. Woo. 21-16 Dallas. I mean, I can see it from up here. Looks like Draco. Oh, nope, going to Stapleton. They really weren't sure who was going to get it. Gets a nice 15-yard to Sperling. Ooh, kind of a choppy little flick. Ooh, it just pops out of JP's hands. And it looks like the lightning delay may have affected us more than Dallas. Dallas looking to get a break here before they end. There's 10 seconds left in the third. Ooh, a laser very low. Smith has a chance now. 5 seconds left. Taylor's going to have to make a play. He just goes ahead and hucks it. It's going to be, I think, Ray and Bush in the back. Ward just skied him. I'm sorry, that is Larberg.
Officially the end of the third quarter. Dallas up 21-16.
Good sky. Just nice ups there from Ray, but Dylan Larberg able to get there first. Carry. Unfortunately, doesn't get the buzzer beater that Atlanta would have loved to have going into this fourth quarter. 21-16. We have 12 minutes. We should be able to fit this game in before our lights go out. I think for Atlanta, I think we really want to get a break. Really bring the intensity in this last quarter and show that we can play with some aggressiveness and force some ill throws. It seems like Dallas all day today has just been so comfortable on offense. And it's showing here in the score, 21-16. Dallas on the line, ready to go. They do have to travel to Tampa. I believe it's a 1 p.m. game. So they're going to be hightailing it out of here. Have a long drive. They have quite a crew this time. Last was 2 weeks ago. It didn't seem like they had as many people. Definitely a bigger roster traveling this time. They know they're trying to finish off the season, get that home field advantage. All right, everybody's lining up. For Atlanta, Gaynor, Lindquist, On, Smith. I think that's, I want to say Carter Ray. Looks like Birdsong as well. Some crafty handlers and some speed. Anything can happen though. This is 12 minutes. If Atlanta can play some incredible D to finish off this game, there is a hope. Starting right on the sideline. Ooh, quick one to Gaynor. Quick ones right now back and forth. He's got Gaynor up the line. He's right there. Looks like Sun Choi just too sharp of a blade. Goes a little too far on. Good look from Gaynor. Wishes he could have that one back. Ray now setting on the mark. Dallas looking to kind of put this game away and here early in the fourth quarter. Rogers back. Ooh, faked him out. Ray, though, putting some good pressure on this team. So far, just going back and forth. There we go, gets it up to the 20. Looked for a quick dish, but has to go back. So far, not a lot of yard. Oh, intercepted right out of the sky by Smith. And then there's the call by Choi. Should now put him right on the goal line. 11 minutes now left in the fourth. Has to reach through. It can run it down. Nice job. Way to stay with the disc. Ray, he has been running all day. You can tell he's winded.
Give it up for Carter
He's been
Ray.
playing really well up in the cup, at least trying to be there and make it so that the handlers don't have such easy swings. (21-17), 4-point game. Took about 1:05. We got 10:55 left here. I think Dallas just needs to stick with what they've been doing. They've seemed to have no problems just easily moving the disc through the poppers. And then when they have the easy deep look, or if they feel like they have the hammer, they're taking it and getting it. They're also getting high in the sky and get those grabs out of the sky and in the air, and we'll see if they continue that. Pull kind of comes in around the 30. The rock now gives it over to, I think Dalton Smith has it. Back to LaRock. Just seems like they're giving him so many easy resets. And Dallas has been able to utilize them. Ooh, close to a stall there. Ended up getting it over to Jackson. Back on their own 30. Not a lot of activity right now, but it's almost like they're waiting for them to kind of get lulled. Smith, there he is with the pop. Slack tries to give him something, unable to do so. Gives it back to LaRock, still on his own 30. That's what Jackson needs to do. He's putting pressure on Malachek, so he's immediately there now to put pressure. Has to swing it back over to LaRock. Jackson trying to get the big swing. Puts it over the top to Smith, and here's where they go through. Slack might have Ward, looks him off. Ooh. Now has to go all the way back to Jackson, but he's center of the field at about the 43. Swings it back to Smith. Far sideline. He's going to get it all the way to the other sideline now. That might be LaRock. Puts it back to Smith. They are just homing this disc all the way up. Just 5 yards at a time, going 10 yards back, then coming 15 yards forward. Ooh, trying to pinch him. Jackson now on his own sideline, or the far sideline. Throws a real low hammer to Bray. And here's a huge chance for Atlanta to get back in this game with a lot of time left here in the fourth. Bray has a reset. Oh, and we call timeout. 0-2 so far today on timeouts after the turn. Feeling confident, though, this one will change the tide here. Yeah, that hammer just did not come out high enough. Thrown right to Bray.
At this time, we would like to thank our partner, Universal Point Cleats. Universal Point
And a
Cleats is
big
happy
chance
to
now for
present
Atlanta to kind of turn this
Universal
around.
the official footwear partner with the
9:31
AUDL.
left right now in the
Their
fourth.
cleats are specifically designed for
Atlanta can get a score here, 21-18.
Take your cleats for a test drive tonight.
And a much more reasonable difference to make up with the time if we can come away with a quick score here. My guess is Stapleton will probably take the disc to start us off. Got Sperling, Carey, Bush, Smith, JP, and Draco alongside Stapleton. Yeah, it looks like Stapleton's making his way to the disc. Draco playing the dump swing. And I would not be shocked to see kind of Matt Smith cut from the second of the stack. Oh, or maybe Taylor. Have someone cut from the front of the stack, get it, and then have Bush in the back ready for something. JP goes. It's immediately to JP. He's not in. He tried to drag it. Atlanta's going to have to now see if they can get a score here. Oh, good work from Sperling. Making his defender look silly as he just makes a nice cut to the back of the end zone and gets a nice score. Quick one. 9:20 left, 21-18. Good fake from JP, gives him the room. Olsen right here. Good hesitation from Sperling. Takes off. Olsen's hips going the wrong direction. Nothing he can really do.
For the hustle, 21 for
And
Dallas.
a big break for Atlanta and when they needed it. Now down by 3. We're going to have the pull from Sun Choi. Quick pull, getting down there pretty fast. Carter Ray running his butt off. Down there with Lindquist as well. That's the best pressure we've seen Atlanta start with. And this is something I think we've been needing to do all game. Make them have to start throwing early, not starting all the way up near the 30 or 40. Ooh, makes the big one, but Carter Ray able to take it off. Sam Ward had a good run. Birdsong playing in the backfield right now. A lot of homing right now, back and forth. Dalton Smith trying to look for something, but ooh, gets right by Frood. Ooh, he puts a little laser swing, unable to grab it. Slack usually got the nice hands, but this was a tough one. Now we see if Atlanta, ooh, JP fakes it, but then gets it over to Lindquist. And Atlanta's going to use their other timeout. I think it's going to come back. Nope, it's going to stay. Refs are still, I think it's going to stay on the 40. So technically the timeout was called after the completion by Lindquist. Just like that, 8:37. Very quickly, if Atlanta can make another quick score, we're within 2. And this could be the run we were talking about. I believe it was 21-16 at some point. We're on a 2-0 run already. You got your solid D-line out there, Olsen for Dallas and Larberg brothers, Armour, Connor. For Atlanta, it looks like our solid O-line, Matt Smith, Austin Taylor, Stapleton, Bush, Carey, Sperling. I think JP in the midst as well. We've seen a lot of activity from Draco and Stapleton to get started. See if we see a similar play from last time. Matt Smith kind of sitting in the open space, now bringing the stack. It looks like we have an ISO with JP on Matthew. JP just goes deep. Stapleton has to look him off. And a huge reset now all the way back on the own side of the field. Carey keeps us going now on our own sideline. Has to push it back to Stapleton, who has Draco, but unable to get a positive swing. Has to look off Bush, gives it back to Draco, who's just dancing all around the field. Ooh, a tough one all over his back. I do not see how that's called. And maybe we are getting a call now. He was all over his back, and yeah, there was no way there was a legitimate play on that disc unless he was going to land on his back. JP now. Where will he start? Puts it immediately up to Matt Smith. He's going to have to run this down. I think it's just a little out of reach. And a huge chance for Atlanta to bring this within 2. Now the clock goes down to 7:38. Dallas. This has been tough for Dallas's D-line to have some consistent offense, although they've been able to build a lead. It's been a lot of their offense. And I think we're going to see a pick call against Dallas. And they seem to kind of have chain building there for a second, so nice to see it come back now on the goal line. Stapleton on the mark. They want it deep. Chris making some hard cuts, just swinging all around the field. And there's another pick. I just don't see how that wasn't called. Swings it back over now to Olsen. Olsen puts a close one in there. Continues to swing to other Larberg. Dillon now back there with Stapleton. Ooh, Sperling almost wanted to eat it up. Has to give and go, but doesn't been able to get look to him. Now Larberg giving it to Larberg. Number 4, calling for it on the sideline. He's looked off. Double team comes in perfect time. Almost gets a hand block. And you can tell they're really trying to keep it in Larberg's hands. He seems to be the only confident one to move the disc forward at the moment. Lewis makes a couple fakes. He's looking to reset. Ooh, Larberg again. They're still on their own 30, and they're just these little unders. They give it right back to Larberg. He goes deep this time. Lewis versus Ray. Ray gets him. Oh, and just, oh! But he still grabs it. Some shoving and bumping, but Carter Ray gets the disc, but able to keep it in his hands is Lewis. Carter able to get position. You see the elbows come up, get the push. Carey keeps the wits about him, but the random left hand keeps it, bounces it right back into his hands. Very fortunate grab for Dallas after a scary point that Atlanta almost had a chance to get back into this game. 22-18, 6:11 left here in the 4th. Still some time for Atlanta to make some quick strikes. I think this offense is going to be kind of pressured now to make quicker moves than they have all season if they want to get back in this game. We're going to have another roller. And it's out around the 31. Parker Bray just got a single defender, so Bray's kind of just trapped and only. Oh, beautiful swing. You've got to be able to throw that hard. He's able to do it. Minch throws it out to Pierce. Pierce running it down with a nice sliding grab. Kelvin now wide open. He was being poached. Spinks now centered. Has Sam Gaynor, but there's just not a lot of room to throw it there. Ooh, bumped, but Minch able to catch it through the contact. Has to swing it back to Spinks. Spinks now looking for a reset. Gives it to Pierce. Pierce wants to give it back to Spinks, not able to do so, but a great around to Batson on the other side of the field. Back to Pierce again. He's got the nice flicks. Batson goes deep. Bray puts a kind of blade on it. It's a little too far. Batson couldn't figure out where the read was coming from. The disc goes a little too far. And now Dallas can kind of hold on to this disc and play casual offense. Take their time and milk this clock. Dallas's offense has looked very well, very in control. Rogers looks for it, unable to get the strike cut. They have to bring it back to LaRock. Swings it to 22. And that's a stall count. Oh no, that is a timeout. Unfortunately, I kind of thought that was going to be our first stall today. But Dallas, aware of the clock or the stall count rising, calls timeout, and they will get their offense on the line and looking to seal this game up. 4:51 left.
At this time, we would like to thank our partner, Precision Step Performance. PSP provides a safe and intelligent approach to world-class sports conditioning and training. Start unknown and finish unforgettable. Take your first step in the right direction with Precision Step Performance and separate yourself from the competition. You too can now train with PSP.
After the timeout, we now have Dallas lining up. Hustle setting their defense. This really is, I think, the point for the game. Dallas really just wants to put the nail in the coffin here. This could be the last chance for them to get defensive play here and turn this game around. Malachek is being double teamed. Does still not put in just yet. Waiting for the final word from the officials. Not sure what's going on. Oh yeah, we have the officials still trying to get the clock down, and now we are started. Lots of movement and fakes before we started. Ooh, nice air bounce to swing it over to, I think that's Dalton Smith. He's gonna, ooh, and that's gonna be a strip. Carter Ray knew immediately, and the ref didn't even have to blow the whistle. Now Dalton Smith's going to diss it back to Malachek. Now they're moving on the double team. Had to force Malachek to make a tough throw out. Seemed like it might have been a little shorter than he's used to. Ooh, Lindquist right there, but Jackson now is going to pick it up. Gives it to Dalton. Dalton swings it over to Ward. Ward looking for a continuation is going to swing it back to Malachek. Dalton Smith looking for the next throw. Malachek's just going to give it back to Ward. They are going backwards. Ward, you can tell he's just trying to get that first pop, but he's going to give it back to his thrower, Malachek. Malachek, ooh, a few throws, ends up blading it perfectly to Olsen on the other side. He's going to give it to Ward. Now Ward just has all day to throw, gives it back to Olsen. Now Gaynor right on him. Now he comes off back to Ward on his own, or the opponent's 30. Couple fakes, ends up having to go back to Smith. They're going backwards again, but for Dallas, it's a matter of time. Swings it all the way to Jackson. It's about centered now into 45. They throw the double team. He scoobers over the top to Jay Frood, who's been kind of quiet since the. Or I'm sorry, that's Chris Larber. Or sorry, Thomas Slack. I'm all over the place. He's also been quiet since the rain delay. Gainer, it's just a little too high. And Sam Ward having truly an incredible game today. He's been in the end zone many times. And that was a perfect throw. It's just so hard as a defender then to really make a tough, Gainer, he could keep running, but it's just such a dangerous play to keep running and just run right into another player. That's really been something we've seen for the last couple weeks with Atlanta. Those hammers tend to be more successful than not. But it is a tough throw, but these players can throw them. 23-18, 3:08 left. Now it seems kind of a formality as we finish this game out. Dallas looks like they're going to come away and go 9-1. Atlanta will come back to, I believe, 5-5. If things go the way they're going right now. Stapleton picks it up, puts it to Smith. Smith now already up by the 35. Has JP make an undercut. He ends up looking him off. Stapleton makes a very, very tough. Ooh, and it just gets foot blocked. And D'd by Lewis. Carey, I think, wanted to get a call from that, but that does not happen in the AUDL. It looked pretty clean from up here. Dallas now. Oh, Sperling. Read it. He's had a couple of good those today. And then Stapleton, a little too hard to JP. And it's just been that kind of day for Atlanta. It seems like we've always just been a little off with our throws. And Dallas now with 2:22 left. See if they can now put 24 points up. 23-18 still. Ooh, quick. Nice give and go. Larberg fakes deep. Just a lot of back and forth. Stapleton shuts him down there. They're kind of wanting to give back to Larberg. And it was a timeout by Dallas. And they went ahead and just burned them all out. They had 2 left here in this final quarter. They used them up. We're sitting at 2:05 now. Look at this grab by Sperling. Just reads it. Hits it up. Unfortunately, the timeout will go for Dallas. And he had a couple. He had the one that he dove for earlier, and then he dives for another one. He is really trying to finish this game out strong.
They also are used for corporations at meetings, retreats, and seminars as a fun and effective team-oriented defense. You guys got to meet them earlier today, and if you want to play some more, visit them at Team Trivia.
We've got Malachek now picking up the disc. Wiping it off, helping him clean it off for him. Son Choi. Let's see what happens here in the last 2 minutes if Atlanta can just get on some kind of run to finish this game off and carry it into next week. Ooh, a tough one. Malachek able to get it off. Choi now going off to LaRoque. Sperling now marking Malachek. They don't really have a lot of handlers back. Ooh, great grab. Tough one there from Jackson. He swings it back to Malachek. And then Malachek will give it to Smith. Now they're kind of going into more of a traditional vert stack. Choi now guarding LaRoque. LaRoque will give it up to Frood. Frood kind of looking for something. Ends up getting a nice little 5-6 yard swing. Ooh, it goes up, but I think that's going to be eaten alive by Lindquist. Dalton Smith was not ready for it.
Give it up for Will Lindquist, everybody.
Gives it right back to JP. JP making some moves. He's going to have to give it to somebody here, and Owen gets up. Sam Ward right on them. Now Birdsong. Ooh, he had a chance deep there to go to JP. He ends up looking it off. Ooh, a little touchy throw there, but Choi able to get up, and then immediately just a jet of a throw over to, I believe, JP Burns. And Atlanta will able to get a score here, 19-23. 4-point game, 1:01 left here in regulation. That was a great shot from Choi. I mean, comes out Blady, but it got there so fast. I mean, that's what you want. Perfect throw. And Atlanta trying to get to that 20 mark here before the game ends today. This could be the final point today. I feel like Dallas, though, they might try to do something quick here. They do have a long road ahead of them as they travel to Tampa after tonight. So it'd be kind of interesting. They might just sit on it, you know. Already start sending guys to the car. Like, guys, get ready. Pull goes out of bounds. Looks like Mechanix going to take it at the 30. Jack is on the mark. Oh, he fakes it deep. Gets a nice swing to 14, or I think that's 14. Now Dylan gives it back to Jackson, who gives it back to Larberg. Ooh, a nice trailing catch there from Mechanix. He immediately goes deep. It's a nice shot to Frood. Man, when you have Frood in the backfield, it's like you just know you got to get it there, and that's what he does. He does so well. He's getting in open space, making easy grabs. And even if they're tough throws, he will run them down and make great toe-dragging catches. Frood right here, just no one can. It's so hard to defend a throw like that. 24-19. There's 39 seconds left here in the fourth. Dallas was slowly able to just build this lead and then maintain it. Atlanta had some offensive hiccups that allowed the Dallas team to slowly build this lead, but I give Atlanta a lot of credit. They stayed close. Even with the delay, having to come back and start up all over again. There was a little chance there with almost a 3-0 run, and if we would have completed that 3-0 run, things might have been different. Nice little pull. It's going to drop around right at the 30. Stapleton's just going to pick it up. No mark. I'm just surprised he just didn't go deep. JP's going to pick it up at the 40 now on a nice under. Goes to carry it under again at the 50. Nice little 10-yard throws. Another swing for about 25 yards. Bush throws the hammer. He's got Matt Smith by himself. He's not in. Oh, he is in. He did hop right in. And they're going to call it. I don't even think Matt Smith thought he was in there for a second. 22 seconds left, 24-20. Do you believe in miracles? Because it might happen. We would need an insane. Maybe we should try the rollout thing. Maybe we do it better. I don't know. We could just roll it out. I think they should just drop the disc. Just drop it right there on the goal line. And then they would have to run down there in 10 seconds and pick it up. And just like nonchalantly drop it. And don't act like anything happened. Troy does it. Dallas is going to have to run hard. They picked up. They knew. They were well aware. Chris LaRock is getting there as fast as he can to pick it up. And they're able to pick it up. Ooh, wow, what a throw. No, Lindquist caught it. Frood's trying to say he still had it. They're going to give it to Frood, and the disc still plays. Oh, man, look at that bid. Man, where has this been all day? Carter Ray now. Oh, this is circus Frisbee now. We're just throwing things all over the place. That'll wrap it up. Dallas wins 24-20. Atlanta will move to 5-5. Dallas 9-1. Dallas will still hold first place. Atlanta at the moment may still have third place, but they are going to definitely need wins coming against Raleigh in the next couple of days. But that'll wrap us up here in Atlanta. Dallas wins 24-20. We'll see you next week against Raleigh.